The psychology of why people give you money. People don't give you money because you ask for it. They don't give you money because you have a good product. And they definitely don't give you money because you deserve it. The exchange of capital is a psychological transaction, a transfer of energy based on a cold, hard calculation that happens almost instantly inside the human brain. Most people are blind to this process. They use guesswork, hope, and luck as a business strategy. That strategy fails. Today, we're not talking about feelings, we're talking about frameworks. We are going to deconstruct the four core psychological drivers that compel a person to exchange their hard-earned capital for the value you offer. Understand this system, and you'll stop chasing money and start commanding it. Let's get tactical. The value equation. Let's get this straight. No one buys a product. They buy an outcome. They buy a solution. Every single transaction, from a stick of gum to a corporate merger, is governed by a simple, brutal formula, the value equation. On one side of this equation, you have perceived benefit. This is what the customer believes they will get. It's the total package, the problem solved, the status gained, the time saved, the pleasure experienced. On the other side, you have perceived cost. This isn't just the price tag. It's the money, yes, but it's also the time it takes to use your product, the mental energy to make the decision, and the risk of it not working. The key word for both is perceived. It's not about objective reality, it's about the customer's internal calculation. Think about a $5 coffee versus a 50-cent coffee from a gas station. Is the $5 coffee 10 times better? Objectively, no. But the perceived benefit is a stack. It's the taste, yes, but it's also the environment of the cafe, the signal of personal standards, the ritual, the social experience. You're not just buying caffeine, you're buying an identity upgrade for 10 minutes. The perceived benefit is massive. Amateurs sell the coffee. Professionals sell the entire stack of benefits. Now let's look at cost. A product might be priced at $50, but if your website is slow, confusing, and requires 20 clicks to check out, you've just added a huge time and frustration cost. The total perceived cost skyrockets, and the customer abandons the cart. This is why Amazon's one-click purchase system is so lethal. It's a weapon designed to evaporate the time and effort cost, making the equation tip in their favor instantly. A 30-day money-back guarantee does the same thing. It surgically removes the risk component of the cost. Here is the core operating principle. A transaction only happens when the perceived benefit dramatically outweighs the perceived cost. It can't be a close call. It has to feel like an undeniable win. The customer's internal logic has to conclude, I am getting far more than I am giving up. Your job is not to convince them. Your job is to structure the offer so this conclusion is unavoidable. So stop obsessing over your price. Start architecting the equation. Amplify every possible benefit: efficiency, status, security, experience. Then systematically hunt down and eliminate every non-monetary cost: complexity, risk, time, and friction. When the scale tips so heavily on the side of benefit that the cost becomes an afterthought, the transaction is no longer a sale. It's simply the logical outcome. The pain resolution protocol. Every significant transaction is driven by this protocol. Humans are hardwired to move away from pain. It's a survival mechanism. This isn't about minor annoyances. It's about identifying a specific, persistent friction point and providing the most efficient resolution. Think of it as an algorithm. If pain is greater than the cost of the solution, a transaction occurs. Let's use a simple diagnostic. You have a terrible headache. The pain is immediate and debilitating. A bottle of aspirin costs $5. Do you hesitate? No. The perceived value of resolving that intense, immediate pain is astronomically higher than the $5 cost. The transaction is instant and logical. Now scale this to a business context. A company's sales team spends 10 hours a week manually inputting data into a spreadsheet. This is their pain. It's not just 10 hours of wasted time, it's 10 hours they could have been selling. It's the risk of human error costing them a major client. It's the frustration and low morale of the team doing robotic work. The pain is multi-layered. You don't sell them CRM software, you sell them the resolution. You sell them reclaiming 500 hours of high-value sales time per year. You sell them eliminating the data entry errors that cost you your last big deal. You sell them a more effective, motivated sales team. Your job is not to invent a product and then find a problem for it to solve. Your job is to become an expert diagnostician of pain. Find the friction, find the inefficiency, find the fear, the uncertainty, the thing that is costing your target market time, money, or peace of mind. Once you isolate the pain, you must frame your offer as the most direct path to resolution. Not the cheapest, not the one with the most features, but the most effective tool to make the pain stop. When you can articulate someone's problem better than they can, they will automatically assume you have the solution, and they will pay you to implement it. That is the pain resolution protocol in action.
Status and affiliation signaling. Humans are social animals wired for hierarchy and belonging. This isn't philosophy, it's our core operating system. For millennia, your status within the tribe determined your access to resources and your chances of survival. We no longer live in tribes, but the software is the same. People will pay, and pay a premium, not just for a product, but for the signal that product broadcasts about their position in the modern hierarchy. This driver splits into two functions: status and affiliation. Status is vertical. It's about signaling superiority, competence, and success. A luxury watch doesn't tell time better than your phone. Its function is to broadcast economic status. The high price isn't a bug, it's a feature. It's the cost of entry to prove you can afford the signal. When a company hires an elite consulting firm, they aren't just buying a PowerPoint deck. They're buying the ability to signal to their shareholders, we hired the best. They are purchasing a status object to project strength. Affiliation is horizontal. It's about signaling belonging. It answers the question, which tribe are you in? Think about outdoor apparel brands. People who buy a specific jacket are often buying a uniform. They are signaling their affiliation with a group that values adventure, environmentalism, or a certain aesthetic. The logo is a tribal marking. The same is true for a person who pays for an expensive membership to a niche community. They are paying to filter everyone else out and to signal, I am one of you. When you engineer a product or service, you must understand the signal it sends. Are you helping your customer climb a ladder, or are you helping them join a tribe? Your branding, your price point, your design, every element must reinforce this signal. People aren't just buying what your product does. They are buying who they allow them to be. If you sell an identity upgrade, the price becomes secondary to the power of the signal.
The trust catalyst. The first three components, the value equation, pain resolution, and status signaling, are the engine of the transaction. But that engine won't start without a catalyst. That catalyst is trust. You can have the greatest offer in the world, a solution to a burning problem, and all the status benefits locked in, but if the person on the other side of the table doesn't trust you, the deal is dead on arrival. Zero transaction. Trust is not a soft skill or a feeling, it's a risk calculation. When a potential customer evaluates your offer, their brain is running a subconscious security protocol. It's asking one simple question. If I transfer my resources to this entity, what is the probability that I will receive the promised benefit versus the probability that I will be exploited? High probability of benefit means high trust. High probability of exploitation means the deal is off. Your entire job is to systematically increase that probability of benefit in the customer's mind. You do this by engineering three core signals. First is competence. Can you actually deliver the result? This is proven through data, case studies, verifiable credentials, clear demonstrations of expertise, flawless execution. This isn't about telling people you're good, it's about showing the undeniable evidence that you are. Second is integrity. Will you act in their best interest or will you exploit them? This is built through transparency, clear pricing, honest communication about limitations, and authentic social proof like reviews and testimonials. Integrity is about aligning your success with their success. When they know you only win if they win, the risk calculation changes in your favor. Third is consistency. Have you done this before, and can you do it again reliably? A single success can be an accident. 100 successes is a system. Brands like Apple or Amazon are not just selling products, they are selling predictability. You know exactly what you're going to get. That consistency, over time, builds an unshakable foundation of trust. So stop thinking about trust as something you ask for. It's something you build, piece by piece, with every action. Competence, integrity, and consistency. These aren't just good business practices. They are the functional inputs required to create the chemical reaction that allows a transaction to happen. Without this catalyst, your entire value engine remains cold and silent.
So the system is clear. Money isn't the objective, it's the result. It's the byproduct of correctly solving the value equation, resolving a real point of pain, leveraging social drivers, and establishing absolute trust. Stop focusing on the money and start engineering the conditions for its transfer. That is the only strategy that works. If you're ready to operate with this level of clarity, subscribe to Capital Sanctum. We deploy tactical frameworks like this every week.